You know, there's no federal law on parents leaving their kids in the car. The laws vary from state to state. If you live in a state like Louisiana, Maryland, or Nebraska, it's illegal to leave your child in the car for even a minute. And then other states, they may give you a grace period. It really just depends on where you are, the age of the children, if the car is hot or not. Recently, there was a mother totally caught off guard, and she experienced the most frightening thing a parent could go through. She stopped at a convenience store, went inside, leaving her 2 kids in the car, but didn't expect what was coming next. Take a second to make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. Click the notification bell for all updates. If you're watching from Vegas, drop Las Vegas below in the comments. On the evening of Monday, October 24th, 2022, around 8:30, Karen, a 38-year-old mother of 5, pulled over at a 7-Eleven in Las Vegas. She needed to get some money out of her account, so she left her car running, locked the door with her 9-year-old daughter and her 11-month-old son in the back seat. Then she went inside the store to use the ATM. While inside the store, Karen locked eyes with 38-year-old Mario Estrada. Mario was sitting at a slot machine. She noticed that Mario had a bad spirit about him and just sensed that something wasn't right. Next thing you know, Mario walked out the store, approached Karen's Dodge SUV parked just outside the store, and looked inside. Karen walked back to her vehicle to confront Mario when she said he opened her driver's door and got in. Recounting her story, Karen said, "I tried to grab him and I grabbed his sweater in the door and he reversed and kind of rolled over the top of my foot." And Karen went on to say that she pleaded with Mario, kept telling him, "My kids are in the car, my kids are in the car." That's when Mario looked back at her daughter as her daughter was crying out for her. Karen said that she begged Mario to let her children go and take her SUV, but he sped away with the 2 kids in the back seat. The frantic mother was so desperate to save her babies, so she tried to run after Mario. She said she chased after the car on foot until she couldn't anymore. Meanwhile, Karen's 9-year-old daughter was in the back seat, begging Mario to let them out. She unhooked her baby brother from the car seat, and eventually Mario pulled over on a dark street to let the kids out of the car. It was pitch black. The 9-year-old girl, she really couldn't see anything, but she carried her little brother as she walked at least 5 blocks barefoot toward light until she made it back to the store. Police still at the scene working. They saw the kids and then called Karen to let her know that her kids were found safe. When she got the news, she fell to the ground and kept thanking God that her kids made it out of the car. Meanwhile, less than 10 minutes after the carjacking, a cop spotted Mario. He was driving 64 miles in a 30-mile-per-hour zone. When they tried to pull him over, he just kept speeding. He crashed into another car, then kept driving again, ran several lights, and then crashed a second time. That's when he climbed out of the wrecked SUV and tried to flee on foot, but was quickly apprehended. According to the police, Mario became combative and even threw up inside the patrol car. He was initially taken to a hospital to be checked out before being booked into the North Las Vegas Community Correctional Center. Mario faces 10 charges, including child neglect, second-degree kidnapping, grand larceny of a motor vehicle, and driving with a suspended license.
And that brave young girl's story is not only frightening for any parent, but her boldness and quick thinking is truly incredible.
Fox 5's Maddie White has been tracking this story for us. Maddie, you spoke to her mother yesterday. How are they doing after this? It's serious. It is a traumatic event for her.
Oh, it was horrible. Yeah, the mother was desperate, just awful yesterday. A little bit better today, but really meeting the children today was so eye-opening and just incredible to know how brave this little girl was. So, like I said last night, we heard from her mother as she tells me she ran after her car as it was being stolen with her children in it. And now we're hearing from the brave young girl herself. Her name is Nyla, and she did whatever it took to save herself and her baby brother, King.
I know where 7-Eleven at because that's the way we go to my granny's house.
This is Nyla Prentice. The 9-year-old and her baby brother were in the back seat of their mom's car Monday night when their mom ran into this 7-Eleven on Cheyenne and Decatur to use the ATM, and the unthinkable happened.
This boy was looking at her at a strange way, and then he ran outside, and he tried to open my mom's door, and then my mom came outside and she was like, "What are you doing next to my car?" And then when she come next to the car, it unlocks. So her car unlocked and then he got in the car and he zoomed. And I didn't want to put my hands on him because he was driving fast and I didn't want to die.
Nyla says she wasn't sure where he was driving, but says they were going fast.
So I just closed my eyes and I was thinking, I was like, what I'm gonna say.
That's when she says she reached for the unlock button in the car.
I reached into unlock the door. He was like this. And I was like, please sir, let us out the car. Please sir, please, can you let us out the car? I don't got nothing to do with this, please.
She says the only thing the kidnapper said to her was, get out. He pulled over.
The only thing I was worried about was my little brother. And so I tried to grab my shoes and he didn't let me. He was like, hurry up, get out. So I grabbed his binky and then me and him ran.
Once on the sidewalk, she started running.
I didn't know where I was at. Just started running with him. Because I'm not going to leave him in the car. Because I always watch him every day. And
Nyla and King managed to get back to 7-Eleven. She ran barefoot through the dark streets with her baby brother in her arms.
I was looking for some lights and then I saw the 7-Eleven that we was at. And then I went in there and I was shaking and crying.
The staff at 7-Eleven gave her a chair and something to drink. Then the officers came in.
I heard they say they had my mom. I started crying.
Her mom says she fell to the floor, thanking God her children were safe. Still unclear what this person's motive was.
Did he know you were there?
Yes. He looked back at me. He should have been minding his own business.
Wow. I'm really just happy to see that these kids are safe. After running in fear, she's having trouble sleeping and won't leave her mother's side. The little girl said that she did not want her or her little brother to die, so she carried the baby until they made it to safety. This is absolutely horrible. I feel bad for this little girl because she's going to remember all of this. I'm happy that she didn't suffer serious injuries, she or her brother. They're physically doing okay. Her mother, Karen, she was sore from running after the SUV, which was totaled. And as for Mario, the moron, he had no business doing what he did. He saw that Karen was alone and that she was an easy target. And it's just crazy, like, why didn't he let the kids out of the car at the store? Or better yet, why not go get a job instead of stealing people's cars? It's just silly. You have people going back and forth on social media, some blaming Karen for leaving the kids in the car. There's also a debate over how he was able to get in if the car was locked. And side note, in the state of Nevada, it is illegal to leave a kid in the car under 8 years old if the car is on or if there's a significant risk. The only exception is when someone else is in the car that's at least 12 years old, actively supervising the child. So according to the law, if Karen left a 9-year-old girl in the car alone, it will be okay because she's at least 8 years old. But leaving the baby in the car while it was running is considered a violation because the baby wasn't being supervised by a child that's at least 12 years old. I don't think they're going to pursue any charges against Karen because she was a victim of a crime. I don't think they're going to enforce the law on her. She's a mother of 5. The kids' ages 13, 12, 9, 5, and 11 months old. Thank God the kids are safe. Shout out to this 9-year-old girl. After being dumped on the street, she was able to make it back with her baby brother alive. Sending prayers to all the kids and the whole family, especially this little girl, praying for her healing from this traumatic experience, and I really hope they get her some counseling. As for Mario, punishment for the second-degree kidnapping charge is anywhere from 2 years to 15 years, but if he was charged with first degree, he would have been looking at a life sentence, which is what I believe he deserves for this. But they only charge him with second degree. And then for the carjacking, he's facing 1 to 10 years if convicted, so the most time he can get here is 15 years. And I just don't think it's enough. They certainly need to upgrade those kidnapping charges to first degree. I'm sorry, he saw those kids in the car. He peeped in the window, he looked at the little girl, saw her, heard her screaming for her mother. Like, no way, he knew what he was doing. Let's go ahead and get the conversation started below. According to the mother, Mario was able to access the car and get inside because of the auto unlock feature. Do you think features like that need to be re-examined to see if they're causing more safety problems? Shout out to Robert P. I appreciate you, Robert, for all of your support, as well as our sister Keita G. Don't forget that you can support this channel as well. Links to Cash App and PayPal are below. Ladies, fellas, want a balanced analysis, want the truth from a woman's perspective? Then you're going to want to subscribe to this channel and don't forget to like and share.